All right, guys. This is my personal take on these drift cars. Um, Now, although they all work fine, they all work great. Good drift cars. They work like they're supposed to. Some of them just have their uh, pros and cons, so to say. To start things off with, all right, the Tampa and the Yosemite here, both well balanced, drift real well. But the problem with these two cars, guys, is just look how big they are, how wide they are, and how long they are compared to this Fudo. Now, when you're running a tight course, this could present a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that ass end's gonna get hung up on everything. If you've seen some of the rally races I've created, it's really not a good idea to use these types of cars. On a tight course. Now, a wide course, I mean, no problem. They'll work just fine. Like I said, they work great, but they're just too big and bulky for what I want to do. Um, Now, other things here. This FR36, the Euros, in the Jester RR. Um, Actually, the ZR352, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Um, these cars are your fastest of the drift cars. Um, Not really too good on dirt courses because they're too fast, guys. These cars are better for getting on the street course. You know what I mean? Concrete, um, something to slow the slide down a little bit, so to say. Uh, Now, the ZR350. This is our medium, guys. You know what I mean? This is the car in between the fastest and the slowest, which is the Fudo right here. The Remus is a pretty quick car, as well as the ZR350, but they work well because they're small, but they're still. I mean, you can make them work on a dirt course, but still just too much horsepower in the rear end. Um, both good drift cars, pretty versatile on dirt, snow, or pavement. But the go-to for the dirt guys, um, and you can argue with me all you want, the Fudo right here. It is the most underpowered drift car out of all these drift cars, which makes it a little more handleable on dirt. You know what I'm saying? When you go to hit the corner, it ain't overpowered in the rear end. It's almost kind of well balanced for the dirt. This car is going to be your best dirt car. Um, but like I said, all these cars are just slightly different in their own little way, unique in their own little way. Um, but like I said, I like them all, to each their own. I'm not challenging anybody. I mean, if you got your preferred preference, that's your preferred preference. But I'm just telling you the reason why I have my preferred preference. My go-tos usually are the Fudo here, the FR36, the Remus, and the ZR350. These other ones, I don't even really mess with all that much. I got the Tampa, but that's more of a nostalgic piece. Um, but like I said, the Tampa's just too big. It's more just to have than to actually use. Um, yeah. Me personally, guys, these the smaller cars are your best bet, especially on like a tight rally course. But any tight course, you want the smaller cars. All these other cars are pretty small too, but like I said, keep in mind this Euros, this Jester RR, and this FR36 are they're fast. You know what I'm saying? Way faster than all the rest of these cars. Um, the Yosemite, the Tampa, good balance, but just too big. Um, if you're wanting to go on and off road, your best bet, guys, is going to be this Fudo right here. And if you don't like the way that looks, um, your next best bet is going to be either the ZR350 or the Remus here. Like I said, all these other ones are just too much on the dirt, too fast. And these ones are just too big. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I enjoy them all. They're all good drift cars. I just have a preferred set I use the most, and they work best for me. Good way to test these out, guys, is just like to make one of these things right here. You know, just a little test circuit. Then you can jump online and test them all at the same time. You know what I mean? You ain't got to pull one out of your garage at a time. In these races, these cars are actually not modified at all. These are vanilla cars, other than just what they look like. So these are bone stock performance. So you're going to get the exact comparison you need from each one of them. Now, me personally, all my drift cars, I put the customs on it because they do take, guys. It's just going to change your acceleration, but turbo sports, all that stuff, tune the car before you drift upgrade it. I'm telling you, they're faster. And you can tell that just by, you can go in the creator and jump in one of these drift cars, and you can tell that it's a lot slower than what your fully upgraded drift car would be online. You know, you can see for yourself. I mean, there is a clear difference. But yeah, guys, see for yourself, test them out. But me personally, that Fudo, the Remus, the ZR350, and the FR36 are my go-to. All the rest of them just pretty much waste space. Teach their own. Like I said, I'm not challenging you, like your preference, that's fine. But this is just what I like and what I like to use them for, and what's best to use them for what I like using them for. Um, Take it with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the gist on these drift cars, guys. Whatever you thought you knew about drifting in GTA 5 prior to these drift cars being released, just throw that in the trash. It's a whole new ball game with these drift cars. You know what I'm saying? Super easy to control, easy to work with. Really, the only complaint I have about them is the camera view. I hate it. It needs a camera view that'll stick to the driver. I don't know, a drift cam or something like that, because if you're wanting to get a good long rip, not only do you got to juggle your accelerator, your handbrake, and your steering, you got to juggle this camera too, to get your good clean drift. You know what I mean? And so you can see what the hell you're doing. But yep, super fun, super simple, guys. I enjoy it. These rally courses are really fun. Real fun to create, and there's a lot of areas on the map you can create them on. But like I said, these rally races, guys, you don't want to use these big old cars. I promise. You want something nice and small so you can get around corners with. The smaller, the better. These big cars are just too much. They look cool, but they don't do what I want them to do or need them to do.